Hi, my name is Gina, and Melissa and Ashley asked me to share my testimony on what I've learned around betrayal and God's faithfulness. I know you've heard stories last month on Jenny and Jason and how God redeemed their marriage through forgiveness and grace after the pain of betrayal and infidelity. I'm so happy for them and thankful for their journey. There's so many other couples that have received that type of grace and restoration through God in their relationships. However, my story looks very different around betrayal, and that's a journey I would love to share with you today. I have a couple verses I wanted to share about restoration. Deuteronomy 30, it says, God will restore everything you lost. He will have compassion on you. He will come back and pick up the pieces from all the places where you were scattered, and he will bring you back to what once was yours. Psalm 71, it says, you will restore my life again. From the depths of the earth, you will again bring me up. You will increase my honor and comfort me once again. Those are two beautiful verses that I found on my journey to help me understand what restoration looks like. It's not the same for everyone. There were so many nights that I begged and pleaded for God to save my marriage, to keep my family together, to give my spouse a willing heart to hear him so that he could help us and restore our marriage. I have been married and divorced twice. That has been a painful space for me at times. I hold marriage and family very sacred, and I know I tried all I could do in both of my marriages, but God was not able to restore them in the ways that I asked. I have experienced betrayal and infidelity, broken promises and lies, abuse, and in many ways. And what I have learned over time is that there are also, in those relationships, love became my idol. And over the years, love became an idol for me. Love is my reason, it's my purpose, it's my gift, it's my motivator, but it's also been my greatest challenge and source of pain in this life. It's taken me over 40 years wondering and struggling and fighting my way through to finally understand that anything we place above God becomes an idol, and at some point that has to end. We have to change that. In my marriages, I gave everything I had. In my first marriage, we had 2 children, and I thought he was the most amazing person, and there were things that were said along the way that were hurt my soul. Times that he would come home and say, I don't think I want to be married. I think I would be better off single. And I would talk him back into being married. How could this happen? We have a child, we have 2 children. Like, I don't understand, because to me, marriage was forever. And I learned later in life, as I walked through my own healing, that there were ways that I betrayed myself by not honoring myself in some of those situations, and some of the pain in our marriage that I allowed to continue because, in the name of love, because I wanted to be married forever. I didn't want it to end, and I wanted to love him forever and keep our family together. He ended up leaving for someone else, and after 7 years and 2 children together. And looking back now, I can see the pain we both were in. I can see and understand, all of my begging and pleading for God to save that he just could not. He saw things in the dark that I could not see. And God loves marriage and family, but he could not give me what I asked for to save that marriage. But since then, excuse me, since then, that relationship has gone up and down. It has been painful for our children at times, but God has restored that relationship for my children with their dad. He's given him a new wife that loves and adores him, and he's built a family with her. And I have so much love and respect for her because she brought him back to his faith and his love for God. And the woman that he left for, God restored, walked me through my own healing and forgiveness in that situation. And she's a very dear friend and close family member. We consider a member of our family. My kids have a beautiful relationship with her. And where that, in the 20 years since, almost 20 years since that marriage ended, God has restored those relationships back to something more beautiful. We still have a lot of healing to do on our own, each of us, but that is a gift to my kids that I'm so thankful for now. My second marriage, we had a child together, and he helped raise my two older children. That relationship was very toxic and unhealthy in a multitude of ways. I stayed in that for far too long because I didn't want to put my kids through that, and I loved him with everything I had. He became my everything. And I learned through that relationship, I ended that marriage because God showed me that I could no longer survive in the environment I was living in, and that I was no longer the woman that he created me to be, and I could not be her if I stayed. And so he safely led me out of that marriage and into his arms to heal. And for that, I am so incredibly grateful. God does not love divorce, but there are instances where it's important, it has to be done. And he showed me what love is and what love is not. And he showed me who I am to him and how much he loves me and how he designed love to be and how he wants us to love others and love ourselves. And the time that I have spent with him, the past 4 years, the relationship that I have with God now, I would not trade for anything in the world. And it is precious to me, and I am incredibly grateful. He did not restore my marriage, either one of them, but he restored me back to who he designed me to be. In 1 Corinthians 13, it says, and this is a verse that I hold very near and dear to my heart now, because I understand that how God loves us, and that I have to love him first and love myself enough to so that I can love other people from a different place. I can honor myself in love. I can let love be the beautiful thing that it is and the way God designed it to be. 1 Corinthians 13 says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy or boast, it is not proud or self-seeking, love keeps no record of wrongs, it is not easily angered, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and perseveres. Love never fails. The last thing I wanted to share with you is I have such a heart for, in my walk with God and understanding what love is. With him, he also showed me how precious and important we are as women to him. If you look at creation, we were the last piece of creation, and then he said it is done. We were the pièce de résistance. We were the final end to his masterpieces. We were not placed there by mistake. God makes no mistakes, but he loves us so much, and we are so precious. And I think when you understand that, and you understand what love is and how God loves you, it changes everything. And I look at love differently now. I look at it as a beautiful gift that it is. I look back at my marriages and my broken relationships, and I see God and where I betrayed myself by not loving him first. And that is not a mistake I'll make again. And betrayal is painful, and it often leaves you feeling like you're alone and you're unworthy. It can make you feel really lost. But if you're walking through betrayal now, I want to tell you that you're seen right where you are, that your pain is real. You are not alone. You are so loved, and you can and will heal, and God will restore all that was broken, and he will bring you back to who he made you to be and designed you to be. And even if it's just for you alone, even if it's not your marriage, your relationship, even if it's not what you asked for, he will restore all that was broken. Thank you for letting me share my story. Melissa asked me to explain why I picked the song Known by Tauren. And I just wanted to give you a little insight into that song. So after I left my second marriage, I always told my sister that God speaks to me through the radio, and there's so many, I clung to listening to worship music only. It became a place where God would send me answers, and this was one of the very first songs when I was leaving my marriage that he gave to me, and it's Fully Known by Tauren. And part of the lyrics in the very beginning of it says, "You call me out to pull me in, you tell me I can start again, and I don't need to keep hiding." That, for someone who was leaving a relationship that was toxic, I was scared and alone, and he just kept giving me comfort and reminding me that I'm not alone and how loved I am. And some of the lyrics at the end are, "I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go no matter what I do. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. I'm fully known and loved by you." So it's such a beautiful song and a reminder of how loved we are, and no matter where we are, he will meet us there. And so if you need that today, I hope this song brings you some comfort, and I'm so thankful to Melissa for recording it. But that is why I chose Known by Tauren.
It's so unusual, it's frightening. You see right through the mess inside me, and you call me out to pull me in. You tell me I can start again, and I don't need to keep on hiding. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. And it's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known, and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by so like you to keep pursuing. It's so like me to go astray. But you got my heart with your truth, a kind of love that's bulletproof. And I surrender to your kindness. Oh, I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. It's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. I'm fully known and loved by you. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. How real, how wide, how rich, how high is your heart? I cannot find the reasons why you give me so much. I'm fully known and loved by you. You won't let go, no matter what I do. It's not one or the other. It's hard truth and ridiculous grace to be known, fully known and loved by you. Fully known and loved by you. It's so unusual, it's frightening. I'm fully known